Hi, hello, welcome to my channel. So I was doing yesterday, don't show this again. So this simple getDir function. So this is already a third video. Now the problem that I had yesterday, let's see, with lib, let's see if this thing even works. Now the problem was that I had ChatGPT saying I should have a rec here, right? Because the getDir cannot then reference itself. But I think I've missed the point that if you put it in an attribute set like this, then it can reference itself. Yeah, that's not clear actually. Let's see if this actually works. But I'm not seeing anything, right? Why am I not seeing anything? Because I didn't paste anything. Oh, I should have a let statement. Can I import this somehow? Because this is kind of a module. How do I import this? You see, he has a let here with lib, and then he has a let. So it didn't put it in import valid files. Maybe we could write a let statement. So let getDir, dir, blah, blah. So let this in what? Let getDir in what? Imports valid files in result. In result is getDir, my dir. No, but this can't work. Multiple top-level expressions are not allowed. And probably this won't change a thing. Yeah. Really? Unused with expression with lib. Yeah, I'm totally not really getting this. So let's check again with ChatGPT. I'm totally not getting this. So that's space F. No, space Y. So let's check again our getDir function, which I'm kind of just trying to play with it, to define it, and then maybe import it in a NixRepl. What are the ways how I could import it in NixRepl? Importing in NixRepl. And it doesn't work. It just shows me a lambda when I next instantiated, right, in my shell. It doesn't show anything. It's like it just shows it, lambda. So and Sonics. I also wanted to check this. This is kind of a very interesting project that I know I might learn something with this. Fairly straightforward. This is the word, the expression that Infinicil likes to use. Fairly straightforward. This is fairly straightforward. Set up for making a NixOS system configuration stateless without relying on experimental Nix features. Basically without flakes. Nix channel disabled, Nix packages managed with niv, or maybe npins also. The same Nix packages is used for the system and all Nix commands. Yeah, we might do this also too. But not before I understand this getDir function. This is ridiculous. You know, I almost feel, you know, I can't believe I applied for summer of Nix, and I'm not sure how to collect files. You know, single let getDir import modules getDir Nix in getDir myDir. Look at this. Does this thing even work? Are you streaming from a different room today? Hi, Depster. No, I think I've just changed the angle. Oh yeah, it's a different one. Yeah. No, usually it's like there. Right. So now it's more like this. Yeah. Ah, yeah. Can you believe this? Yeah, modules with lib. I don't think this works. You know, we should probably check some Nix code because you know C++. I should use you better, you know. You know, like stuff like, wait. Where's Sonics? No, come on. NixOS, Nix. Look at this. Yeah, I should use you. I should use you. No, I'm kidding. Issues. Yeah, there are all of these bugs. Look, latest. Yeah, but I should get back to my collecting file paths. I started reading another book. How many books are you reading to help prepare for possibly tutoring for some CS classes? I'm reading the infamous CLRs. Oh my, you're reading that? That book, which is a really big, I know that's, I always, yeah, why are you reading that? Who reads that? Come on, it's more like some kind of a manual thing, right? Right? It's a huge, I know this, but it's a huge book. It's been mentioned over the years so many times. I think I read about this book so many times. But it's a very, it's not functional, you know. It's like, yeah, anyway, I don't know the book, you know. But yeah, okay, I've heard some good and bad things about the book. I'm reading it to gain more information and knowledge. Yeah, but isn't that book more like a manual kind of like there's so many patterns there, right? Do you mean you just reading it from the beginning to end? Well, that's great. Look, I'm still trying to just get the file names. This is so silly. I can't believe I applied for Summer Nix. I can't even do this. Yes, okay. Where is it? Yeah, importing into Nix repo. Look at this elaboration. How to import. You can import an X expression file by providing its path to the import. If you have a file named myModule in the current, you can import it with import myModule.nex. Yeah, I'm reading it from the beginning to end. Oh my. I feel like I need to step up my game in order to someday find a programming job. It will also help prepare me for hard late code problems. But anyway, I'm reading a total of 2 books at the moment, that one and crafting interpreters. Yeah, it just sounds to me. No, I'm glad. Please don't take this as it's a very, I guess, would you call that a very, bottom up approach, what you're doing? You familiar with that, like top down, bottom up approach? Like someone who reads from the beginning to an end that book, it's basically, bottom up approach. And that works, it depends on the person, I guess. You can import an X expression to the import, right? But this isn't even good now. Let's see if I delete this. Right. But this won't work now. Multiple top-level expressions are not allowed. It's probably more used to what's called a reference. Yeah, that's a better word. But I've read references front to back before as well. Not saying it'll be easy, but my goal is just to learn as much as I can from it. Oh, that's what you do actually. Yeah, that won't work for me. Reading, just references. Or I read the references, but then, yeah, I guess you gotta play with it. Do things like stuck like that? Just to learn as much as I can from it. Okay. Well, good luck. getDir. Why is this not working? Multiple top-level expressions are not allowed. Oh. Okay, look, so I just want to import this getDir function, but somehow in my file, it shows it's not written correctly. Just check it out. But what would be the difference? Look, with lib let, it has a let statement. I guess I cannot just have a getDir. Where is it? You need to return an attribute set from your file, not just a lone binding. Okay, into this with lib. Now you're returning a set with one field, getDir. Interesting. So I do have it. I do have to have it wrapped up in a like this. So of course, Nix instantiate doesn't do a thing. But then it says, okay, let's go to Nix REPL, right? So one of the ways is we import a file. What do I call it? Default.nix, okay. Is it in, so it's imported. Or I could load modules getDir. So we can also load it like this. No, I cannot load it. Now getDir is in scope. Oh, lib. Error. Function anonymous lambda call without required argument lib. Is it because we haven't used lib? Well, let's try to, yeah, because we're not actually using lib. Let's try like this. Now I have an empty and have here with lib. So maybe I can just do it like this with lib. So what's this problem? getDir undefined name. Undefined variable getDir. So he doesn't get it. You'll see your nested attribute set rather than just lambda. This is really, it just won't work. What did we do last time? Okay, we have a dir and a dir, a lambda. We have a dir and a dir. If you just my dir stable joy, and we have a dir built-ins redir dir. No, we have a dir built-ins redir dir. My dir? Yeah, this works. That's what we did yesterday. Dir, built-ins, redir, dir, my dir. So basically this would work also if I do dir dir built-ins map address so name type if type directory, then so if the type is directory, then what do we do? Well, then we just write dir. Else type. Else. It's incredible how much I'm stuck with this. But we do want a recursion. Horrible. So again, lib with lib. Maybe if I put this in a let again, result, and result is what? getDir, my dir? No, it won't work. I don't get it. This is a bit. You know, my monitor is small, but I've used to having bigger font like this. Maybe it's not good actually. You could the font is really too big. I don't have font like this. I have font more like this. But when people watch, or if I watch on the phone, the font is always too small, and a lot of the people have, when I watch streams, you know, the font is really small, and some of the people said like they really like that the font is big. So now I got used to it. I'm on my laptop, so this is way too big, you know. So I go back and forth. I zoom in and out. GNOME had this great extension, but it won't work now. The magnifier. So I'm just trying to understand this. It's very simple, but I get lost with heads and bodies. And there is a scale factor in display setting that will help. Not sure what that means. What do you mean there's a scale factor in display settings? Help with what? No, I understand the scaling thing. Like the KDE has like like Windows. I don't know if Linux. Yeah, like on Windows, scale on display setting that zoom all the apps a bit. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's called like fractional scaling. Windows has it on 1.5, I think. All of the OS is zoom. Yeah, but I zoom even more because I wouldn't use like this. Like this. I would, when I'm not like streaming, I would use probably like this. Yeah, it reached 200. But if I stream and then look at it and I just go like this, it looks the same like yours. Yeah. It's just I don't have it like that by default. So I zoom in and out. And I guess this is very small, so I can zoom it in. You know, this is a very simple function, which I'm still kind of not getting. And well, I'm getting it, but it's just not. I'm trying to like import it into REPL, but I'm doing some mistakes with the let. Why? I'm using it for like what is the nature? Oh, I teach guitar. I don't do this stuff. This is just a hobby, you know. I'm a musician, so I've used this for 5 years. Yeah. And NixOS is great, really, because you're kind of forced, you know, in a nice way. You're forced to do programming, and it's very open, like, you know, you can do all kinds of things. Yeah. And it's kind of a new mindset. That's what I liked about it. It's not manual. What one Nixer said, the apt-get mindset, or the on Windows that would be like win-get mindset or chocolatey mindset, where you manually install stuff, you know, where you say the computer what to do, how to do it. But with NixOS, it's like, it's a different mindset. Well, in Nix, you declare stuff. You know, you have like a single source of truth. Right. I don't know how much you know about Nix. Nix REPL examples. toggle. So these are the expressions. I know it has DevOps thing, that's it. Yeah, but look, if you so I'm just going to show this briefly. I don't know if you know about this. So this is like this is basically how you define your system. It's declarative. You write what you want to enable and such, and it's reproducible. It's just in a few. I mean, you can read about Nix. You can already find nice, videos on YouTube and stuff. But I like this way because you can, set everything as code. Yeah, actually, infrastructure as code, basically. So you don't do anything manually. The point is not to do anything manually. The point is you define stuff that you want and you get it. Well, not just automation, yeah, because the way we understand, I think, if you look at Ansible or, Puppet, you automate stuff, you can automate stuff, yeah, but it's still not, it's not pure. Still with Docker, you have to, well, it's reproducible, but it depends on. There have been also many posts that I can't really, say in a few words in a good way, but that talk about the differences between Docker and Nix. Yeah, there's many actually. So Nix is something really different because it aims to be completely reproducible, right? And Docker is not. With Docker, it's kind of, you have all of this thing you have to do. No, that's really, I don't use Docker though, but I read there's so many, like Nix against Docker, and you have, why do people compare NixOS to Docker? You see, yeah. Docker and NixOS can both build packages from a declarative build file and deploy them. Right. A Nix package and a Docker file define how to build software, and then Docker run, Docker compose, and NixOS modules define how to run and set up the software. Now, Docker is more of a subset of NixOS, and NixOS can do way more. People like to use Docker for build anywhere, run anywhere, which can be the same for Nix, which is where some of the comparison could come from. Yeah, hermetic builds, runtime behavior. But you see this on a related note, snaps, Flatpak, app image, and Docker collapse everything into a new FSH directory structure, which allows for a single application to run. That's the difference, you see? So Nix doesn't, it just has a Nix store. So Nix packages represents this complexity of differing dependencies at build time by only having certain access to certain packages. And after the build, only store paths, which can be still referenced, are kept as runtime dependencies. Maybe that's too complicated. So you can have all kinds of software with the same name, right? But they have a different hash. So you can use like 2.7, 2.8, 2.9, all on the same system. And that's kind of, that's the different mindset. While the Docker gives you isolation of both software and data, all the system is in isolation. Here not. Here is more like you can have a ephemeral like shells, and even you don't have to contain them. You can have different versions within the same space. Yeah, but that's now, yeah. I guess you could do some research, but yeah. There are so many. Yeah. Yeah. And with the NixOS, it's a different kind of a vibe in the sense that it's an OS. So you kind of, you deal with it. That's what I liked it. But you deal with it as soon as you turn it on. You know. So I'm basically trying to learn stuff. There's so much. It's a big deep dive. I'm just basically now what I'm doing in this stream is just trying to understand a very simple function. Which is also cool. Wait a second. Where is it now? Did I? Yeah. So recursively constructs an attribute set of a given folder. So this function basically makes a attribute set, or like a dictionary of your files and folders. I'm just having, difficulty. I want to iterate, like do a little bit and then evaluate it and see how it works. This is an entire thing. So constructs like a Nix file, constructs an attribute set, right, of your directory and files, and then collects all files as a list of strings of paths. And then you filter it. They don't end with Nix. And I guess here some files are valid, some not. So this is an interesting function, but it has a lot of heads and bodies. So it's basically a glorified lambda calculus. And I think that's the thing what comes hard with Nix. People who are not familiar with functional programming. But maybe this isn't too hard. getDir, dir map address. I think this is very easy. I'm just having a thing with these functions. For example, I'm trying to... This is something wrong with this, and I'm not sure what is it. I'll try in the REPL again. Your NIA alias executes Nix instantiate eval. Yeah. Yeah, it does, but oh, I have a but there's something wrong with this. You see, I just have a lambda here. Even if I do strict. And then I default Nix. I don't know if it works like this. No. You want to run Nix instantiate by itself afterwards. By itself afterwards run NIA. What do you mean? I'm not sure what you mean, because NIA is Nix instantiate dash eval. Yeah. Hey, Drake. You mean without? Yeah, but why? Like this? Wait a second. I think you have to do like eval or something. Will this work here even? I'm not sure. Does TLDR gets this stuff from manpage or some, I don't know, TLDR. No, we don't have it. Produces store, add root, parse, eval. Just parse and evaluate the input files. Next, instantiate expression. Because Nix Instantiate is a bit quirky in the way it works with standalone Nix files that interact with files. Yeah. Expression. Yeah, I'm still not sure. How do I just get this thing working? This... So this isn't working. Still it isn't working. This still isn't working. Yeah, I'm kind of stuck. Maybe we could try to copy out the entire one and then leave stuff out. You know, you were saying before it didn't work. I think it didn't work because it was not in the attribute set. So create a file, getDir Nix next to your modules folder with only this, getDir rec. Again, he's doing the recdir. That's with the rec. I don't think... Okay, let's try it out actually. It's saying rec getDir. Rec getDir dir. Built-ins map attributes name type if type directory. Why does it... that's what I don't like about Helix. I can't even read now. If type directory, then getDir dir name else type. And then built-ins redir dir in getDir. Really? I don't think this is correct even. Look at this. Unexpected text. Yeah, this is wrong actually. Why do I have in getDir? Maybe let's try... Make it even simpler. I don't know. Then let's do it like then dir else file. No, this also, it's horrible. I don't know. This is like already the third video and I cannot, nothing is working. getDir dir built-ins. Aha, čekaj. One male. I'd like to play more with it in the REPL, but horrible. So you can do like, okay, import. getDir is dir built-ins dir. So this works. Well, I'll do it built-ins map address. No. Map address. Yeah, we said we're going to have a name and a type. Wait, let's do it like this. Yeah, I can. Map address, name, type, if type, directory, then dir, else we're gonna call getDir again, but this is different. Then getDir dir plus name, and Infinisal has it a bit different. Wait a second. The version we used yesterday near the end of the stream does work, but due to the way Nix instantiate eval operates, it appears to fail unless Nix instantiate is run first. Oh gosh, so it did work. I don't even know. I've changed it now so many times. I thought you can just do Nix instantiate eval because you have to evaluate. It's kind of, Infinisal talked about it. It's like, it should be just nix-eval, and that's it. Not this Nix instantiate -eval strict, whatever. Else getDir. So did the version have, you know what, I'm not sure, like this thing. Is it getDir? Look at this dir file. I'm totally confused with this dir file. Is getDir right? It's saying this dir. So this thing, and then what? Type. I think type. File. No, name. Right. Else getDir dir name. If type directory, then getDir dir file. No, I'm writing. Oh no, this is wrong. And the REPL experience is really, I have to do it again. Name, and it's important to do these things, type them so many times, yes. So if type directory, then getDir dir file. Oh, can you believe, do you see what I was doing wrong? I was writing if type directory, then dir. Else, and then I would do getDir. I think I did something like that. If type directory, then call getDir again, right? Like this. Dir and name. Else type. And then we're gonna just read it, I think with dir again. Oh, it's not dir, built-ins dir, it's built-ins. Yeah, So this is the getDir function. So now if I call it on my dir, nice. But what is the premop map address? Oh, interesting. This is very interesting. Why did I get premop map? I didn't get a... Okay. So built-ins, name type. If type directory, then getDir dir name, else type built-ins redir dir. Well, that's good. Maybe I do it here also. So this will be the dir, and then we're gonna have a name. So you're saying this, but I have this lib again. It means your recursive call didn't actually recurse into the subfolder at all. It simply returned the map address primitive itself. That happens because inside your lambda, getDir isn't referring to the function you think it is, so it never really reinvokes itself. In a bare let bound names are not recursive unless you mark them rec. Without rec, the getDir inside your if then getDir is a totally different, and in that case undefined name. So Nix falls back to something else and ends up giving you map address itself. How to fix it? Let rec getDir. Rec tells Nix inside the definition of getDir, I want getDir to already be bound to this function. I see. But what about final address? Okay, what about it? Can we use final address and not the rec? I think we can use it. I'm just not sure why. Oh, how? Can we use final address and not the rec? So the problem is the lib. What if I don't have here? What if I just have like this map address? What if it happened? Yeah, function anonymous lambda call without required argument lib. Final address is just a convention some derivation builders like use to let you refer to the completed attribute set from inside your own fields. It's not a general replacement for rec. Why final address won't save you here? Final address only exists because MK derivation itself is defined roughly as, okay, that's only for, yeah, when we are making derivations, we don't use rec. Your getDir is a plain function, not a final address style builder. There is no mechanism. Attribute set bindings are, so here it's saying we can use a let. let getDir is dir. So that means to put let here. Really? In getDir. Or just my dir. But this is not correct. Okay. Built-ins. No, this does not work. Look at it. It won't work. You'll need to remove the brackets. Oh yeah. It's funny, all of these little mistakes. You see, now I don't get a thing. Oh, now it works with Nia. Look at this. Let's do strict. Yes, so now it works. A text is regular. What do we have actually? A text is regular, so it's a file. Subdir has another attribute set with a B text, which is a regular. Okay, at least it works now. A text. So what? Okay, we have this. I was looking back at an old video where you were going to make a Lisp interpreter and see your hair is a lot shorter and it doesn't look like you're in kitchen anymore. It could be. I don't know. I did. Maybe I was in a different room. Your hair is a lot shorter and doesn't look like you're in a kitchen anymore. Could be. You know, we move stuff here in the apartment. So sometimes I would be in this room, but it would look, you know, somewhere else. You would see that wall or that wall. Most of the time, this is where I streamed. No, every stream was in this room. Yeah, every stream. So now we have this getDir. Now we're gonna collect all files. But it's interesting, wait. It won't work. I guess it won't work like this. Will it work like this? Yeah, that's right. Oh, so it is a problem with the lib. So he has this actually, and it works. But he has this imports valid files. Yeah. Let's actually leave this out for now. Okay. I can, but you'll need to import Nix packages and its lib. And he basically imported it. Yeah, he imported it in a different place. But since I'm kind of just reproducing this one file, and I already forgot, how would I import? I think with lib. Yeah. I forgot. How would I import lib here? You'll need to import Nix packages and its lib. Yeah, I forgot the command. I know I've seen the command. I would have to import it here. In order to import that into the REPL, you must give it a lib attribute yourself. No, the thing is, when it's written like this and I Nix instantiate it, I just get a code. It does not it does not work. So I have to somehow import Nix packages and its lib, as Drake says. These are all little things, but it's kind of difficult. So you won't get anything useful out of. I see. Well, okay. If you run it with Nix instantiate getDir Nix, because that file expects to be called with a lib in scope, it's written as a module. In a standalone context, you must import Nix packages yourself to get lib. Okay, that's correct. So here are two simplest ways. Put it all in one file. Let import Nix packages. Yes, this is define our recursive getDir. Let packages. Import Nix packages. Right, like this. No, but this won't work. Then we have to write it. No, let. I'm totally confused now again with all of this. It's too much. Expecting a binding like path value or inherit. How would I import it? Let packages, import your module. History let packages like this. I've seen this. Right. Let. Oh, interesting. Lib. Really? module. It's going. Yeah, import my dear. No, that's actually default. Default.nix inherit lib. getDir, extract the function module. getDir. Wow. In call it getDir my dear. Attribute getDir missing. Oh, because we don't have the module. Yeah, right. Maybe we can just let packages. And then lib is packages lib. And then import, just import default nix. I don't think this is, yeah. Fascinating. How long is this? 1 hour and 2 minutes. Hey, that's enough for now. I wanted to keep it short today, and I haven't done much. But yeah, I'll chat a bit with this and look around. And then maybe next time there's more luck. Then we have to collect all files. Files, dir collect is string map address recursive. There's some new stuff here. Yeah, okay, that's it for today. Kind of shortish. Bye bye. Wish everyone a nice weekend.